Hello and welcome to Just Vintage Crochet, and today I am going to show you a tutorial that I actually filmed about a year ago for my other channel whenever I was really starting to get into all these vintage patterns, and I came across this one from 1990 and I thought, isn't this is so stinking cute. It's a Venetian bag. I love the little rosettes on it. And so I just filmed it, and then I started making something of my own. I got really excited. My mind went somewhere else. I started writing out a pattern and filming it, and I completely forgot about this one until I was kind of going through my vault of old videos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there is a whole tutorial on here, and it's vintage. So here it is. It's, again, not super great quality because this is whenever I was still learning how to do tutorials. The camera angle, like right now, the camera angle is good, but this camera angle was a little more down, and it is what it is. But it's still a really good tutorial, and it's a super cute bag. So in the video, I think I failed to mention what size hook we're going to use, and it is an F 3.75 millimeter hook, and the yarn that we're using here, I think I do show off what yarn it is, but it is 24/7 cotton. Now, I do believe in the video I list amounts needed if you want to make the bag plus handle, or if you want to make the bag and just purchase a handle like I did. But I cover all of that in the video. Okay, guys, so here it is. Enjoy the video, the old video. Hello. I'm so excited to show you guys how to make this bag. So I'm actually filming my intro at the end of making the tutorial. So I don't have any more yarn left. I mean, I do. This is what's left. So I'm going to insert a picture here. That is what you're going to need. It is Lion Brand's 24/7 cotton. And if you want to make the bag without the strap, what I mean is if you want to buy your own strap, which I talk about that later on. Amazon has some great cotton straps with little hookies on them. And let me show you here, because the bag is almost done. There you go. I show you guys how to attach these little deals on, and you can get those like really nice little $9 or $10 cotton strap on Amazon. Or if you want to make your own strap, which I do give you 2 options later on in the tutorial how to make your own straps, then you will need 4 of these. But I can tell you with certain confidence, 3 is all you're going to need for the whole bag. And fortunately, Amazon does sell these in a 3-pack, and it's really affordable. It's like under $20 for 3 of them. So let's get right into the tutorial, and we're going to start with how to make the squares, because that's where the pattern is going to start. Okay, so let's learn how to make the squares. You will need to make 7 of them. Go ahead and grab the 3.75 millimeter hook. Make a slip knot with a pretty good sized tail, one that you can tug on, to cinch the circle up a bit. And then weave in just a little bit to lock everything down. There we go. And you will chain 4 a bit loosely, because we are going to be putting 16 half double crochet onto this circle or this ring. So my best advice to you is to keep it nice and loose. You see I have a nice big loose teardrop there. Keep it nice and loose, not so unbelievably loose, but loose, like that. Go ahead and join to form a ring, and as you already heard me say, we're going to be working 16 half double crochet into the ring. Start off with a chain 1 and immediately go into making your first half double crochet. And you will be cramming a bit. So for me, what I did is every 5 half double crochet, that's 3, 4, and 5. So as soon as I was done making 5 of them, or I'm done making 5 of them, I go ahead and scooch it back. If you wait any longer than 5, it really does get hard to scooch it all back. So there you go. Make room for more. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then I scooch those ones back. We're going to have to do a lot of scooching. There we go. 11, 12, 13, and 14. Scooch just a little bit more. And 15 and 16. Let me zoom you in just a little bit. Okay. Now, the easiest way to figure out where is your first, I already know that my first is right here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. The reason I always know that this one right here is my first, it's the stitch that's laying mostly on its side, like facing me, of all the other stitches. So I know that one is the one. So we will slip stitch to join. And then chain 4, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go ahead and cinch this circle up just a little bit. Now you will skip your first half double crochet right here, and in the next one over, work a single crochet. Now we chain 3. We're treating our beginning chain 4 like a single crochet plus chain 3. Here we have a single crochet plus chain 3. And we're going to skip the next stitch, and in the next one over, we work a single crochet again. And this is the repeat all the way around. You should have 8 loops at the end. You will just come back and slip stitch into your starting half double crochet right here, okay? Okay, here I am coming up on my last loop. So I already worked my last single crochet here, chain 3, and then right here where this chain 4 is coming out of is where we're going to slip stitch. So that allows us to skip one and then slip stitch there to join. Alrighty. Okay, now we are going to chain 3, yarn over, and in this exact same stitch right here, we're going to work a double crochet. Now reach over this loop, and in the single crochet, work a single crochet. Chain 3 and work a double crochet. And work a a single crochet in the next single crochet over. Chain 3, work in the same single crochet, work a double crochet, reach over this loop and work a single crochet in the single crochet, chain 3, and work a double crochet. This is the repeat all the way around. Meet me when you get back to the beginning. Okay, here I am approaching the end, and I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch. I already worked my chain 3 plus 1 double crochet, and I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch right here where we started, right in there. Okay, now chain 1, and working in this loop, the very first chain 3 loop that we made right here, but we're going to work it from the back, as you can see. So it helps to pull your petals forward a little bit. It exposes that chain right there. You're going to slip stitch into that, then chain 5, 3, 4, and 5. That will count as a single crochet plus chain 4. Come over here to the next chain down here on the bottom, but from the back right here. This is our next chain 3 space that we have to work into, and you will work a single crochet. then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again. Come over here and reach down into that chain 3 space and work a single crochet, chain 4, that's 4, come around to the next and reach into that chain 3 space, chain 4. This is the repeat all the way around. Meet me when you get back to the beginning and we will join together. Okay, coming up to my join now. Count first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this one here will make 8. We should have 8 of these loops. And just join right where we slip stitched into our very first ring here. Just join right there. Okay, so for our next round, this is going to be round 5. You're going to chain 5, that's 4 and 5, yarn over twice for a treble crochet, and in the very same stitch that we slip stitched into, work a treble crochet. There we go. Now, just like we did before, we're going to come over the top of this loop and single crochet into the single crochet. Then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and work a treble crochet in that same single crochet. This is the repeat all the way around. You will come over this loop and slip stitch. No, single crochet. Single crochet into the single crochet plus chain 4, and then a treble into the same single crochet. There we go. Then work a single crochet, chain 4, treble crochet into the same single crochet. Meet me whenever you get back to the join and we will join together. Okay, just coming up to my join, I've already worked my last chain 4 plus treble crochet. Now I'm ready to go ahead and join, and we're going to join in that stitch right there that our chain 5 is coming out of. There we go. Okay. Okay, I got a little premature there. We're going to chain 2, and just like we did before, we're going to work on this loop right back here on this chain 5 right here. So with your chain 2, go ahead and slip stitch. Now chain 3, and we are going to work a treble crochet 3 together. So yarn over twice, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and stop. Yarn over twice, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and stop. Now yarn over and pull through all 3. That is a treble crochet 3 together. Then we chain 3, and in this space right here, right next to it, we're going to work a 3 double crochet together, cluster. So we're going to start a double crochet and stop. Yarn over, start a double crochet and stop, and do that one more time. Then we yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on our hook. Chain 1. In the next chain 4 space, we have below these 2 little chain spaces here, the next one over, we will work a double crochet, chain 2, come down and work a slip stitch, chain 2, and work a double crochet. That is going to be a flat edge. Then in the next chain 4 space, just push your petals forward, your your petal being the chain spaces here, push those 2 chain spaces forward, revealing the 3rd chain space down below, which is your chain 4. And we're going to work a double crochet 4 together cluster. So that's 1, 2, 3, 3 together. I'm so sorry, not 4 together, 3 together. The reason I said 4 is because we have 4 loops on the hook to pull through. I'm so sorry. Okay, we're going to pull through all 3 of those. Then we chain 3. Push that aside because we got some more to work in here. We're going to work our treble crochet cluster 3 together. So pull through 2, and stop. Yarn over twice, pull through 2, and stop. Yarn over twice, pull through 2, stop. Now yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook. Chain 3 times, and we're going to do the 3 double crochet cluster one more time. So we pull up a loop, pull through 2, and stop. Do that again. 2, one more time, 3. Yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, and chain 1, and there we just made a corner. So here we have the start of a corner. When we come back around to end, we're going to work a 3 double crochet cluster in this, around this whole space right here. So this is our flat edge and this is our corner. So now we're going to work another flat edge. So pulling these 2 chain spaces forward, revealing the 3rd one down below to work into. And we work a double crochet, chain 2, slip stitch, chain 2, and double crochet all into that same chain 4 space. Then we chain 1, come over here to the next. Here's the 2 chain spaces here that we ignore, and we work in that bottom one, and we're going to work another corner. So that is 3 double crochet together cluster, 1, 2, and 3. Then we chain 3 and work a treble crochet 3 cluster together. Well, yarn over twice. I'm not saying words right, am I? A 3 treble crochet together cluster. That's a mouthful. Here we go. Pull through 2, stop, yarn over twice, pull through 2, yarn over twice, do it again. Then yarn over and pull through all 4, chain 3. Slide that over a little bit and do your last 3 double crochet cluster, 2 and 3. Pull through all 4, chain 1, and in the next chain space, we push these petals forward a little bit, and we work a double crochet, chain 2. I like to slide this over just a little bit too. Come down here and work a slip stitch, chain 2, and double crochet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here for a minute. I'm going to finish this last corner and this last flat area here, and then I'll be back whenever you are ready to join. Okay, I just worked my last flat space, which was the double crochet, chain 2, slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet. Now we chain 1, and we come over here to where you see that we've got 2 chain spaces. We're going to work our 3 double crochet together cluster around both of those chain spaces, sort of gathering them together. So we'll yarn over and come down into this whole space area here and start working our double crochet cluster. So that is 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Yarn over and pull through all 4. Then again, we chain 3 and into the top of our treble crochet cluster here, here is the stitch that we will be slip stitching into. Right here is what it looks like from the side. Sorry, my hand was sort of covering that. So there you go. Slip stitch, chain 1, and then I weave in my ends, because I weave in my ends whenever I am doing little squares. I weave in my ends as I go. I don't let it wait till the end. So I'm going to go ahead and weave in my ends. You go ahead and finish making 6 more of these, and the next segment you're going to see is us stitching them together with this really interesting braided stitch. Isn't that lovely? I think it is. Okay, see you in the next segment. Okay, let's go ahead and seam our squares together. Now, I'm going to be using the crab stitch or the reverse single crochet if you're not interested in using that stitch, and this is the result it yields. You can absolutely get still a beautiful result with a single crochet seam or a slip stitch seam, or you can turn it around the back and do more of an invisible seam for the front. So, but in this, I'm going to show you how to do this with the crab stitch or reverse single crochet. So I'm going to zoom you in a little. There we go. So with this, instead of starting over here, we're going to start on this side because it's a reverse single crochet and we will be working our way in this direction. Let me just move the camera down a little bit. That way I don't go up too high. Okay, so regardless of which join you choose, with the exception of working in the back, if you choose to do that, you're going to work out of, this will be your starting stitch right here. You've got your treble crochet cluster. And when you lift up a little bit, you see a rather large stitch coming off the top of it right here. That is where you're going to start. Right there. And I'm going to be working in the back loop on this side and then the front loop of the same area right here on this side. Okay, join your yarn. All right, chain 1 and work a single crochet in that same join. Now, you will work the back loop of this square and the front loop of this square every time. The front loop meaning the loop closest to you, of course. So your next join will be here and then here. So we go in, back loop, front loop. I yarn over like this with this one because it's a little awkward. So I yarn over like this, bring it on through, and it doesn't look like there's two loops there, but there is, and then you'll yarn over and pull through both of those, and then just repeat that over and over again. So pick up my next stitch, back loop, front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both of those loops. Back loop and front loop, yarn over, pull through both. And that is the crab stitch or reverse single crochet. And again, I know because I've already played around with this, it's gonna look good no matter which join you choose. It really truly is. I just went with this one because I really love, especially with this yarn, I really love this almost basket weave braid it creates. It is, I mean, it's so pretty. So that's why I decided to go with this one. So I'll do a couple more on camera with you, and then I'll leave you to it. It is a little fiddly, but fortunately we don't have a lot that we have to work with. There we go. Split the yarn a little bit. When we get down into this dip, it can be a little bit hard to tell where our stitches are. I do like to grab a darning needle and sort of yank those stitches up so that I can access them. Okay, that's going to be enough. I'll meet you when we get to the end, and I'll show you what we do when we get down to the end. I do like that braided look. Okay. And almost there. Okay, and I believe I have one last stitch left on both sides, which will be the stitch, again, like before, the stitch that is directly above our treble crochet cluster, this stitch right here, but back loop and front loop. There we go. Pull that through. Well, split it just a little bit. There we go. Then I'll chain one. And I always weave in my ends as I go, and you'll see we've got this funny little nubby. So you just kind of pull that back like this whenever you sew in your end, and the little nubby disappears for the most part. So I'm going to go ahead and sew in my ends. Go ahead and work all 7 of your squares like this. Sew them together however you choose. If you're not interested in doing this crab stitch or reverse single crochet, just go ahead and use the join that you prefer and sew all 7 of them together to form a ring. Let me back out. To form a ring like this, okay? Okay, now that we have all 7 of our squares sewn together like a ring, we're going to go ahead and start on the body of our bag. Okay, so for this first round of the bag, we are starting with working the upper body. I know, it's kooky, isn't it? Okay, you can start with any square, but I need you to specifically start. Here is our treble crochet cluster on this chain 3 space of your crochet, or your treble cluster. So don't start here, don't start here. You have your double crochet, treble crochet, and then here's the 3 chain space next to it. Blah, words. Go ahead and join your yarn there. You will chain 1 and work a single crochet, and all in that same space. Now chain 3, and in this chain 1 space here, work a single crochet. Let me zoom you in just a little bit more. Okay, then you're going to chain 4 and jump over all of this, and in this chain 1 space, work a single crochet, chain 3, and in the next chain 3 space over, work a single crochet. Now chain 4. This is the repeat. So you will start with a chain 3, then you will work a chain 4, then a chain 3, then a chain 4. And we are always working our single crochets into the chain spaces. So we're going to jump over this join and work a single crochet. I guess I made a little error there. That's supposed to be a chain 4. Sorry. So we have our chain 3, work a single crochet, chain 4, work a single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 3, work a single crochet in the chain 3 space, chain 4, and work a single crochet in the next chain 3 space, skipping over our join. Then we chain 3, and we work a single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 4, and we jump over this flat edge and we work a single crochet in the chain 1 space, chain 3, jump over this double crochet cluster and in the chain 3 space, work a single crochet. This is the repeat all the way around. Meet me when you get back to the beginning. Okay, just worked my last chain 4. Now I'm ready to slip stitch in our first single crochet here. Here we go. There. Now you will chain 3, and this counts as a double crochet. And in the chain 3 loop right next to it, work 3 double crochet. Work a double crochet in this next single crochet. And in the chain 4 loop, work 4 double crochet. This will be the repeat all the way around. Wherever you have a chain 3, you work 3 double crochet. Wherever you have a chain 4, you work 4 double crochet, and you will put a double crochet into every single crochet all the way around. And meet me when you get back to the beginning. There we go. I worked 4, now I'm going to work 3. Then a single crochet, a double crochet in the single crochet. If I said a single crochet over here, you know that was a mistake. I meant to say double in the single. Now I have a chain 4, I'm going to work 4 double crochet. So this will be the repeat all the way around. You should end up with 126 total double crochet. Okay, I'll meet you when you get back around to the beginning. Okay, just coming up to the end of the double crochet row, we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. Now chain 2, and in the very next stitch over, work a half double crochet. Let me zoom you in a little bit more. And in the very next stitch over, work another half double crochet. Now yarn over twice for a treble crochet and come back to our chain 3 from the previous round and work a front post treble crochet. There we go. Now we will skip the next stitch, and in the next stitch over, work 2 half double crochet, just like that. Yarn over 3 times and come back to the stitch that we skipped. There it is. Sometimes it looks like this is the skip stitch, but this actually has a treble crochet in the top of it. So we have to, half double crochet. So we have to be mindful of that and work a front post treble crochet around that skipped double crochet. Now we can see our half double crochet is coming out of this stitch right here. So we're going to obviously not work in that one. I just wanted to point out that even though it looks like an available stitch, leaning off to the side there is a half double. So we're going to skip this one, and in the next 2, we work half double crochets. So skip, then we work a half double and a half double. Yarn over 3 times, come back to that skipped stitch, which is right here. And you can tell, just follow the half double down. That is a worked stitch, and right here is our unworked stitch. So 1, 2, and in the third one back, work our treble. Skip the next stitch, and then in the next 2, work half double. This is going to be the repeat all the way around. Yarn over twice, count back 1, 2, and in this third one right here. Okay, then we work our treble crochet. There we go. Skip, treble, half double, yarn over twice, count 1, 2, and then the third one here. That's the one we work in, front post treble. Repeat this all the way around, and I'll meet you when we get back to the end, and we will join up together. Okay, just coming up to the end of this round here. You're going to work a half double crochet in the very last stitch, and then join with a slip stitch at the top of your chain 2. Now work another chain 2, and in the very next stitch over, work a half double crochet, skip the next half double crochet, and skip the treble crochet, and in the next half double crochet over, come over the top of this first treble and work a front post treble around that half double, just like that. Now tilt your work towards you and come back here, and you'll see this sort of looser stitch. That's going to be our skipped half double crochet, and you will work a half double crochet in that, and a half double crochet in the next stitch over right here, right behind the treble. Now you will skip the next half double crochet and skip the next treble crochet, and once again working over the top of this treble, come behind this next half double crochet and work a treble. Tilt your work towards you, and you will see that bigger stitch and then the smaller stitch right next to it. You're going to work a half double crochet in that, which is our skipped half double crochet, and then work a half double crochet in the stitch right next to it. Sorry. Hard to do this on camera where you can see and I can see. There we go. Just like that. And then we repeat. We're going to skip the next half double crochet, skip the next treble, and in the next treble over, work a front post treble. Bring your work forward and coming up, and I kept saying that this was the skipped half double crochet. This is actually the skipped treble, so I do apologize for that. This sort of bigger, looser looking stitch here is actually our skipped treble, and work a half double in that, and then work a half double in the stitch right next to it right here. Yarn over twice, skipping the next half double, skipping the next treble, and in the one next to that, just on the other side of the treble, is where we're going to work our front post treble. That's our repeat all the way around. Tilt forward, come back, and in this larger stitch, which is our skipped treble, we work a half double and another one in the stitch right next to it. Yarn over twice, skip, skip, and in the half double, around the half double, we work our next treble. Okay, meet me when you get back to the beginning. This is what your work should be looking like. Okay, here we are coming up to the end of our row. So you remember in the previous round, we worked one half double crochet right there. That's the one that we're going to work our treble crochet into, or around, I should say, sorry. Then we'll come back, work our two treble crochet, half double crochets. I don't know why I'm getting all of my stitch words jumbled up and confused. Anyways, let's just go ahead and slip stitch into the top of our chain 2. Now, this next round, we're going to have to add an extra stitch because the last round we worked reduced us by 1 stitch. We now have 125 instead of 126. So the next round we will just simply add 1 extra stitch just to keep our stitch count correct, and it won't be noticed. It'll be okay. Now what we're going to do to add a little bit of framing and texture to our work is some slip stitching. So go ahead and chain 1, because we're not going to be able to slip stitch in our very first stitch right here. But in the next stitch over, work a front loop slip stitch, and don't work it too tight, but certainly don't work it too loose. A really nice moderate tautness. We just don't want it to be too tight. But work 1 front loop slip stitch in every single stitch around. just like this. Come back when you make it back around to the beginning. Okay, just coming up to the end of the row here. There we go. And then back here, you'll see a little bar. See that little bar going up and down? Just go ahead and slip stitch into that to close everything off. Nice and neat and clean. Okay, now chain 1, yarn over. We're going to work some half double crochets. Bring your work forward. You will see here that when you do bring your work, tilt your work towards you, these that look like stitches, these are your slip stitches. What we are aiming for are these back loops that we did not work in. Now we're going to work in those back loops that will help roll this slip stitch row forward to create a really nice, interesting border, framing, I should say, around our post work down here. So here's what we're going to do. Bring your work forward, and there is your first, right here, is your first back bar, or back loop only. So go ahead and work a half double crochet. Then work a half double crochet in every back loop along the way. They're really easy to gain access to. Just like that. And here is our result. I think it's really nice looking. Okay, I'll meet you guys when we get back around to the beginning. I just wanted to jump back on real quick because I forgot to mention, I should have mentioned the homework. Okay, that was wrong of me. You're going to work 5 total rows of half double crochet. So this being row 1, after you're done with this row, work 4 more rows of half double crochet, just regular half double crochet. We're not worrying about any front loop or back loop, for a total of 5. Okay. Okay, here we are done with our 5 rows of half double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The next row is going to be really easy. It's just a row of double crochet all the way around, but let's start with a stacked single crochet so that we don't have the chain 3 gap, because let me show you, chain 3, and then in the next stitch over, because this one's already worked, we start our double crochets, and that gives us a pretty unsightly gap. So if you've never worked a stacked double crochet before in placement of a chain, here's how it works. You chain 1, and in the same stitch right here, work a single crochet. Now, you're going to enter into this front loop of your single crochet stitch. Here you have 2 loops. We're going to ignore this top one, and we're going to work into this one. So enter your crochet hook, pull up a loop, and then complete that single crochet, and there it is. And then the next stitch over, you work your next double crochet, and it just fills in that gap so much more efficiently. It looks nice and neat. And when you come back around, all you have to do is slip stitch into the top of that stacked single crochet stitch. Okay, I'll meet you when we get back around to the beginning. Okay, now that we have reached the end of our double crochet row, remember I said things will take a turn? That's because we're going to turn. Now we turn our work to where we are working with the inside of the bag sort of facing us. And we are going to work a front post double crochet in every single stitch around. Just like that. We're going to do this for the next 2 rounds. We won't turn again yet, but this round and the next round will be worked the same. So not turning, just staying working with the inside of the bag sort of facing us now. You'll work a front post double crochet all the way around, then you will join and immediately start working front post double crochet all the way around again, okay? And then after you've done 2 full rows of this row and another row, come back and we will start the next row. Okay, now we have completed our 2 rounds of front post double crochet, leaving behind this sort of texture on the outside of the bag. So still working with the inside of the bag facing us, we chain 2 and we work 10 front post double crochet. I'll be back whenever I have made 10. Okay, that's 10 front post double crochet. Now you will chain 1, skip the next stitch, and the next stitch over, start working 8 front post double crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now we will chain 1 and skip 1 stitch again and start working the next 11 front post double crochet. This will be the repeat. You will work 11 front post double crochet, then you will stop, chain 1, skip 1, work 8 front post double crochet, stop, chain 1, skip 1, work 11. You're going to repeat that 8, 11, and then 8, and then 11, and then 8, all the way to the end where you will join at the top of your chain 2. And I will meet you when we get back around to the beginning. Okay, just finished that round. This is going to be for our pull ties, of course. This next round is going to be very easy. You will chain 2 and work half double crochet front posts, and you're going to copy the pattern that you just worked, so you don't have to worry about counting anything. Just wherever you see a chain space, mimic that. Make a chain space. This will be for our second pull chain. So work that all the way around and then come back whenever you are ready to move on. Okay, this next section is completely optional. You can stop here, chain 1, cut, weave in your end, or you could work 1 more row around the rim with me. This will just kind of clean it up, and it will tie, because I am going to be working another crab stitch round, but I will tell you, it's much easier working through these stitches than it is trying to join. So if you want to give it a try, this would be a good chance to do that through regular stitches, which is the way that stitch is traditionally worked. But I figured it is a really nice way to tie these joins in with another portion of the bag. So if you want to just cut, weave in your ends, and move on to the next section is going to be starting the bottom of the bag, or you can work the top of the bag with me here. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now we have the right side of the bag facing us. And in the very first stitch, which is right here, very first stitch, working through both loops, go in, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull through both. Very next stitch over, go in, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through both. You see, it's so much easier whenever you work it through a regular stitch. There you go. Just go in, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through both. Go in, yarn over, pull up a loop. Let me work a couple of these really quick and I'll show you the result it yields. It's very, very nice. Let me zoom you in just a little bit. Okay, now let's look at our work. And there is the edge it creates. It's very nice. Here's the back side, but here is the front side. And it really just allows us to tie the top in with these joins down here. I really like it. If you want to work it, just work one in every stitch around, including the chain one space. Go ahead and work within the chain one space. You're not going to affect that chain one space in any real way. Then just slip stitch to the beginning here, and that's it. You can cut and weave in your ends and then join. Come back whenever you are ready to start the bottom of the bag. Okay, starting on the lower portion of the bag, we're going to work this whole section over again. We're not going to double it up like we did here. We're just going to work this whole section once. So I'm going to start you off on that as just a refresher, but you can rewind this video to row 1 of our front post section. So you're going to start in a chain 3 space on this side of your join, okay? So I start between the cluster, the double crochet cluster and the treble crochet cluster, that chain 3 space right there. Go ahead and attach your yarn. And chain 1 and work a single crochet in that same space. Chain 3. Now jump over to this chain 1 space, work a single crochet and chain 4. Jump over all of this into this chain 1 space right here, work a single crochet and chain 3. So if you remember, this is where we do chain 3, then chain 4, chain 3, then chain 4, all the way around. Then you will slip stitch into your starting single crochet. And then just rewind this video and follow the next few steps after that to accomplish just one section of our, like, you could almost call this an arrow stitch. It's not made exactly like an arrow stitch, but pretty close. So we just want to do one section of our arrow stitch and then come back whenever you are ready to work on the rest of the bottom of the bag. Okay, now that we have worked our sort of arrow stitch row, we're going to do like we did before, where we are going to work a front post only slip stitch all the way around. There we go. And when you come back, go ahead and join. Remember, we join in this little post in the back that's sort of going, here, let me point it out for you. You'll join in this post right here that's sort of going up and down. Then you will chain 2 and work 1 row of half double crochet in every stitch around, but every stitch being every back stitch that we did not work. So here is, and you can see the formation right here. This is our slip stitch. So when you see these stitches right here, these are our slip stitches. So bend that forward a little bit more and you will see the back loops right here that we did not work in. And these are where you're going to work all of your half double crochets. Then you can cut and tie off and weave in your ends and come back and we will finish the rest of the bottom of the bag. That was a tongue twister for me. Okay, now let's get started on the bottom of the bag. The very bottom of the bag, I mean. Move you up this way a bit. Okay, so we're going to start off with a magic circle, and if you don't want to use a magic circle or you're not comfortable using a magic circle, another little trick you can do to ensure that the center of our ring is completely like airtight. I'll show you this trick first and then I'll show you how to do a magic circle. So you will go ahead and create a slip stitch, slip knot, and then chain 4, but make your first chain rather big. 1, 2, 3, 4, keeping the remaining 3 stitches just a regular tautness, but that one on the bottom is pretty big. And then work 13 double crochet into that very first chain. Sometimes these nails are pretty, but sometimes they get in the way of crochet with little yarn. So you will just work 13 and just keep working it all the way around, and then slip stitch into the top of your chain 3, as that will give you 14 total double crochet. So the magic circle, you will come up between these 2 fingers here, or between right here, between your like Spock V, okay? And you will wrap toward you once, and then again, but crisscrossing to create an X. Bring it down here and hold it, your ring finger and your thumb, hold it all together. Come up under your first strand, hook that bottom strand, and spin while you pull up. Now hold on to everything, tension your yarn through your fingers, and then chain 1 to lock it in. And that is your magic ring, and you can pull it any way you need to. Now we're going to work a total of 14 double crochet. So chain 2 for the magic ring users, chain 2, and just work 14 double crochet. Whenever you're done, slip stitch into your first double crochet. This chain 2 is just going to be used as a filler. So there you go. Just start start crocheting 14 total double crochet into this ring. Okay, just coming up to my last stitch now. This is 14. And skipping over this chain 2, going to slip stitch into my first double crochet. And then go ahead and cinch the ring shut. And there you go. Now, instead of working with a chain 3 for our first double crochet as we typically do with working in the round, we're going to again work with a stacked single crochet. So working into the same stitch we just slip stitched into, work a single crochet, and then going through this bottom first loop here, bottom first, into the bottom loop of our single crochet, pull up a loop and work another single crochet. Now in that same stitch, work another double crochet, and work 2 double crochet in every stitch around. I will meet you guys when we get back around to the beginning. When you are done, go ahead and slip stitch into your stacked double or stacked single crochet stitch. Okay, now we are done with all that. You should have 28 stitches all the way around. So we're going to go ahead and work another stacked single crochet. So chain 1, in the same stitch, work a single crochet, going through that bottom loop of the single crochet, work another single crochet. In the next stitch over, work 2 double crochet. In the next stitch over, work 1 double crochet. Next stitch over, work 2 double crochet. This is the repeat all the way around. You should end with 42 stitches. You should also end with 2 double crochet in your last stitch, since we started with just 1. Okay, so for round 4 until 9, we're going to keep working this same type of pattern. Every row, first of all, every row is going to start with a stacked single crochet. There we go. Now, because the row before we worked 1 double crochet, and then the next stitch it was 2 double crochet, then the next stitch was 1 double crochet. Now we're going to work 1 double crochet and another double crochet in the next stitch over, so we will have 2 double crochets in each of their own stitch, and then the next stitch over will get the increase of 2 double crochet into the same stitch. Now the next 2 stitches will only get 1 double crochet, and then the very next stitch will get 2. And then for row 5, you will go 3. Well, there we go. For row 5, instead of being 2 double crochet between the increases, you will have 3 double crochet between the increases. And then the next row after that will be 4 double crochet between your increase, and increase being 2 double crochet into the same stitch. You will do this every row you progress. You will increase the number of double crochets in their own individual stitches between the increases until you get to row 9. When you complete row 9, slip stitch to join and then come back. Okay, now that you are at row 9, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Let's move on to round 10. So we're going to start off just as we have been with the stacked single crochet. Now, you saw me flip my work over. That's because we are going to start working in the back loop only. Work 1 row of double crochet with no increases in every back loop only stitch all the way around. This will give us a bend that we need for the contour of the bottom of the bag. We are almost done with this bag. Very, very close. Okay, so 1 row of double crochet all the way around, back loop only, no increases. I will meet you guys whenever we get back to the beginning. Okay, now here is the part where you can take some creative control. At this point, you can stop and sew the 2 halves together. Well, small halves, as this is the very bottom of the bag. Or you can work another round of double crochet or half double crochet, not back loop, just regular, or even 2 more if you want the bottom of your bag to be even taller. At this point, this is where you can control the size of your bag as far as the length of it goes. For me, for the sake of the tutorial, this is where I am going to end it. So I'm going to chain 1, turn this inside out like this, because this squiggly kind of side is your inside, and here where the stitches are clearly defined is your outside. So we want this thing to be inside out. We want our bag to be inside out. Raise this up a bit. Okay, back over here to my stitch. Let me redo that. Okay. So all you will simply do, start where your last stitch ended. I really should have sewn that in. That's okay. This is the wrong side. As you can see, my flowers aren't looking like they're blooming. So this is the wrong side out, and start seaming it together. We're not going to worry about front loop and back loop. We're going to go through the full stitch on both sides. Here we go. So I'm just going to bring these 2 ends together. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in a bit. And starting with my very first stitch right here that I'm already slip stitched into, I'm going to start with that one. Go right through both loops and go right through both loops on this side. There we go. And I'm just going to work a single crochet seam. It's a nice tough seam, and I know that I'm not going to work it too tight to where I cause any kind of a pucker seam, a pucker line. You can work a slip stitch, or you can even get out your needle, your darning needle, and you can work the seam that way. I am just going to go ahead and work a simple single crochet seam. So picking up both sides here, make sure that I'm getting the right section. Yeah, I think I need to redo that first one. Okay. Oh no, the first one was fine. My bad. Go through here again. It looks like the stitch is rolled in, and I'm pretty sure it is. So I'm going to pick up this first stitch manually then with my thumbnail. So I'll go through this one, both loops, and then come over here. I'm going to roll this stitch up a bit to pick it up so that I go through the right part of the stitch. There we go. And that should have lifted them all up the right way. Okay. Yep. So I'm just going to go ahead and work this single crochet seam all the way around in every stitch. Then we will work on the strap after this, the ties and the strap. So come back whenever you're ready to start working on the ties and the strap. Okay, so here is the bag so far. It's leaning at kind of an awkward angle because it's empty and standing by itself, but this is her so far. So what we need to do now is make our strap, and I'm going to show you two different versions of a strap that you can make. And oh, you're seeing some of my crochet supplies. Two different versions of a strap that you can make, and then we need to make two pull strings, okay? And another, like I bought a strap for mine on Amazon for $10, and I will also show you how to add the metal brackets inside of the bag if you want to use one of those straps that you can get from Amazon with like a little clippy. And that's the direction that I went with this, but I'm going to show you two different versions of a strap that you can make, okay? Okay, so the first kind of strap that you can make is going to be a linked double crochet strap. Very strong and sturdy. I will show you how to do that. It's only going to be 7 stitches wide. And as far as the length goes, well, that's going to be entirely up to you. So you'll start with, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, because we want it to be 7 stitches wide. Then we work an extra 2 as our builder chain. We don't work, these last 2 stitches don't, forgive me, these last 2 chains don't actually count as a stitch. So you're going to skip, working in the back bump, you're going to skip your first bump, and in your second one, you're going to go in and pull up a loop and stop. In the next back bump over, go in, pull up a loop. Now you'll have 3 loops on your hook. You'll just yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2 like a regular double crochet. Now you will see that we have the top of our stitch, the top side of our stitch right here. Just below it is another bar. This is the bar we're going to work into. Here's another bar you're going to see. We will be ignoring that. The only bar we need to focus on is this middle bar just below the top of the side of our stitch right here. So we go into this side bar, the middle one, we pull up a loop and stop. We come over to the next back bump, we go in, we pull up a loop. Now with our 3 loops on our hook, we yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, like a double crochet. And we do that all over again. Here's my sidebar right here. Go into the sidebar, pull up a loop. Go into the next back bump over, pull up a loop. Pull through 2, pull through 2. There's my sidebar. Pull up a loop. Go into the next back bump, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. And do this all the way to the end, and I will show you how we start the next row. And again, the length of this will be entirely up to what you want it to be. If you just want it to be something that you kind of hang at your elbow, you know, like you wrap like you hang it across your elbow. You don't have to make it very long. If you want it to be a crossbody, you'll need to make it quite long. If you want it to be just a, a shoulder sling bag, that'll be entirely up to you. Okay, here's our last stitch. There we go. Now we chain 2. Again, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. It's just our builder. So we have our 2 chains, one right next to the hook that we will not be working in. The very first chain we made, the front loop only of that chain is what we will begin. The front loop only of our first chain, not the second one right next to the hook, but this first one is the one we're going to work in. We're going to treat that as the sidebar. So we come back and we punch through that front loop only of that first chain, pull up a loop. Now we go into our very first stitch. We don't skip any stitches, and we pull up a loop and work our double crochet. There's my sidebar right there. Then you just keep working this for as many rows as you wish. And this is a nice, tough, sturdy stitch that won't really stretch at all. So you need to make it as long as you actually want it to be, because this isn't going to be very stretchy. This isn't going to have a lot of give to it. Okay. Get a little slack here. And then one more time, we chain 2, turn our work, and through the first chain right here, I punch through the back of that front loop of that chain, pull up a loop in the very first stitch, pull up a loop, and make my double crochet, and there is my sidebar. Just pops right out. And once you get familiar with this stitch, it's a really fast stitch to make. Doesn't take too long at all. Okay, I'll be right back with your second strap option. There we go. Just wanted to show you this stitch is not going to be very stretchy for you. Okay, so for our next strap option, we're going to work a simple Tunisian stitch for 7 chains or 7 stitches. Some patterns also refer to this as what is it called? Afghan stitch. So here we go. We chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we will be skipping, we're going to work in the back bumps again. We will be skipping the first back bump, but with Tunisian crochet, this chain that's on your hook right now counts as a stitch. So we're going to skip the first back bump. In the second back bump, we go in and we pull up a loop and stop. Then we go into the next back bump, pull up a loop, stop. And we're going to do that all the way to the end. Gather all of our loops. We will wind up with 7 on our hook. There we go. Now you will yarn over and pull through just 1 loop to start. Every row will be the same. Then you will yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way to the end. Pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. There we go. And if you pull up just a little bit, you see a bunch of open little spaces. That's where we're going to work. So we never work in the first bar. We always work in the next bar over, and we don't do any chains either. We just go straight into our, again, skipping this one, we go straight into the next bar over, and we pull up a loop, pull up a loop, pull up a loop. Let me zoom you in just a little bit. Pull up a loop all the way to the end. Now, in the end, you can see that we do have a bar to work into, but there's another little loop right back here. Well, we're going to work into both of those, which looks like stitch, like a single crochet stitch. So you'll need to pick up both of those loops just like that. There we go. And as always, we always pull through just one to start. Then we yarn over and pull through two, two. There we go. And again, we always start in the second loop over, second bar over. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there. And 7. Pull through just 1, then 2, 2, 2. Okay, and you will do this for as many rows as you want. This is another very good stitch for straps. You're not going to get like any stretch out of this one. These are both excellent options. And again, just like I did, you could buy a strap, buy a cloth strap. And I'm going to show you how to attach those metal hangers or brackets onto your bag. There we go. I really enjoy working an Afghan stitch. If you've never seen an Afghan stitch before, this is your first time seeing it, wow, you've got to try it in a lot of things then, now that you know how to do it. And this is what people use Tunisian hooks for, and I happen to have a couple sitting right next to me because I play around with a little stitch that I feel like I invented. These are extra long Tunisian hooks. Extra long. They're just over a foot long. They're really, really neat. But this is what you would normally use. They are crochet hooks, as you can see. But they are for making long things with Tunisian crochet, because as you see with Tunisian crochet, you can only work as many stitches as you have space. So anyways, work this stitch for as many rows as you want to create the length you want for your strap. And then you will simply sew the strap onto the bag. Well, when you get done with your strap, come back and I will show you the best placement for your strap. But first things first, let's make our pull ties. Okay, so for your pull straps, it's really basic and really easy. You just chain 111 and then work 111 single crochet onto that chain. And that's about it. I work the back bumps because I like the way crochet looks with the back bumps. I feel like it's a cleaner, more streamlined look, but it's entirely up to you. But yes, just chain 111, then work your way back with 110 single crochet. Okay? Okay, so I already added one of my rings, and I already marked out where I want my pull ties to come out of. So it'll go in through here on the first round, because we have 2 levels of pull ties. That's why we make 2 pull ties. So my first one on the bottom will come through here and then come out this way, and then on the top I'll come in this way, come around and come out of here. And you want your straps to be where your pull ties are. That way whenever you go to open your bag, you're opening it along with the strap. So I chose metal ones. I've had these laying around for a while. They came off of an old duffel bag, and these suckers are heavy. If you buy these on Amazon, they're not this heavy at all. I think these are like some old steel ones, the kind that make your hands smell like metal, you know. But you can also, what I'm going to show you is do this with a wooden ring. Ooh, isn't that pretty? I only have one wooden ring, or else I would have done this with wooden rings. I also want to tell you, if you want to make a different type of strap, maybe one where you do utilize something like this. So what you want to do then is make your strap the length you want from the purse to around your shoulder and back to the purse again. Then double that. Go ahead and just go all out and double it. That way you can weave the strap. Let me show you. basically what you can do is weave the strap in like this, and then sew this to your bag, and then put it around the other side, stitch the strap completely shut, and then you can have a double strap like that. If you catch my drift, I said grift. Oh my God. Okay, I have to tell you though, it's 5:15 in the morning, so I hope I'm allowed to have word salads. Okay, so let me show you how I sewed this on. Now I sewed this on in a way that when I get sick and tired of this metal bit, and I might because this sucker is heavy, I can just take a razor blade and cut the stitches right along the top, and it comes right off, and all of the yarn comes right off, and the stitches that I wrapped it around, I sewed it around or crocheted around, aren't going to be disturbed at all. So if I do get myself some wooden hoops, which I truly would prefer, that's likely something that I will do. So, okay. So I warn you, because this sucker is so heavy, this is going to come off a bit fiddly, but you'll pretty much get the idea of what we're doing. So here is my pull tie hole right here. This stitch right next to it is the one I'm going to be working in. So first, I want to go ahead and get my yarn on there. Now I add, make sure that I'm matching the bends. Okay, now I add I don't even know what these are called, brackets? Stinky metal ring, because that's what it is. It stinks. It smells like metal, like really strong. So you take your stinky metal ring, pull through. Yeah, this sucker is heavy. Anyways, so, oh, I would split my yarn right when I have to look at that. I would split my yarn right whenever I'm trying to instruct. Okay, did I do it again? I'm sorry. I'm probably going to edit this out. All right, then you work a slip stitch. Go back into that same stitch, pull through and work a double crochet around that bar. Let me tighten this up a little bit. There we go. Work a double crochet around that bar. Go into the next stitch over. Each stitch will get 2 single crochets. So you'll go into the stitch under the bar, yarn over, pull through, yarn over through the ring, and pull through. Then do it again. Go right back into that same stitch, come up under the bar meaning the metal deal. Yarn over, pull back through, go through the ring, yarn over, and pull through. That's going to give us a lot of strength and a lot of coverage down here. So you will simply do this all along the entire ring. And you know what? You can do this with keychain rings. I have done that before. Yeah, you can do this with anything like that. Pull through. Of course, it wouldn't be a tutorial without me struggling with my own hair. My hair falls out very, very easily, and a lot of it. Pull through. So there we go. Do it again. All along. And I am going to do this clear until this last stitch, the second to last stitch before my next pull string area. So I'm going to really pack this thing on here. So when I come back, I'll show you how we weave our pull ties in. Okay, so let's go ahead and weave in our pull ties. So I'm going to use my large darning needle, and I'm just going to go ahead and string these little ends, these tails on there. Starting on this side, we've got our top and our bottom pull tie sections. I'm going to start with the bottom. Pull that on through, and then come around, come in through here. My dog is playing with his little chew toy right now, if you hear any sounds in the background. And then probably going to have to pull on it just a little bit because we got to have some room to make sure that we can go all the way around. Okay. There we go. Okay, then we grab the other one and we start on this end. We started on this end here. Now we're going to start on this end. And the top one. I almost went into the bottom one. And we're going to go through the top hole now. All right, and perfect. We come out just where we want to. Oops, okay. Then we can just make our adjustments on both sides. Okay, now not weaving in, but attaching our beads. This is going to be the tricky part. Unless you can find some beads with some fairly larger board holes than I have. Also, I feel really bad that I have beads that essentially match my work. I really wanted this to be dark beads, like the ring I had showed you. Let's see if I still have that handy. I think I might still have that handy. Yeah, I would have preferred beads this color, but I got this on Amazon. Look at this. You get a whole bag of different sized beads, and it's like $7 or $8 for the whole bag. The trade-off is they're unfinished, they're unstained. So that's what we have. So obviously the side with the pull ties is going to be the easiest to attach. Just get that on there. Oh, wait. Okay, so when it comes to attaching the beads, first things first, we want to put one bead on both strands. as such. Then we will individually bead them afterward because we want our slider to be, the individual beads is just going to be mostly for decoration. So I'm going to start with the tricky part first, trying to get this bead on without the, the strings is going to help get the this strand on, but we don't have any strings on this side, so really going to have to try.
I went to a club, right, and they had no baggy pants and no sneakers. That was wild. I didn't know what to think about that. Didn't know what to think about that. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop.
Tighten that up just a little bit. Now we can go ahead and individually bead these. Very cute. Okay, guys, do the other side and your bag is done. Please let me know what you think. Just, yeah, leave me any comments. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Love you always. Bye.